Ford, General Motors, and Toyota were stuck in boardrooms, chasing headlines and unveiling overpriced electric prototypes, China was doing something far more dangerous. They were building an army, a silent fleet of electric trucks designed to dominate the global market. These trucks are not concepts. They are real, they are cheap, and they are already taking over roads from Asia to Latin America, one cargo load at a time. The U.S. truck market, once untouchable, once sacred, is now being eaten alive from the outside in. So what happens when they're cheaper? And what happens when they show up in your driveway? JAC T9 Hunter EV. Cutting edge, bold, and undeniably expensive. Few electric pickups scream luxury like the Rivian R1T. With its sleek design, futuristic tech, and a fully loaded price tag topping $90,000, it's become the benchmark for premium EV trucks in the United States. But now a Chinese contender has entered the ring with a model that looks remarkably familiar, and it costs less than half. This is the JAC T9 Hunter electric vehicle, and it is quickly becoming one of the most disruptive players in the global truck market. JAC, short for Anhui Jianghuai Automobile Group Corporation Limited, is one of China's most aggressive vehicle exporters. In 2024, the company is making waves with the T9 Hunter EV, an all-electric pickup truck modeled closely after the Rivian R1T, both in design language and performance orientation. But here is where it gets interesting. While Rivian targets affluent adventure seekers, JAC is targeting the global mass market with a vehicle priced around $42,000. That is less than half the cost of most United States-made electric pickups, including those from Ford, General Motors, and even Tesla. The JAC T9 Hunter EV features a 77 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery paired with a permanent magnet synchronous motor. It delivers 201 horsepower and 218 pound-feet of torque, making it more than capable for light-duty hauling and off-road work. The range falls between 174 and 186 miles, depending on the driving mode. While this does not compete head-to-head with the longest-range trucks in the American market, it more than meets the needs of most commercial users and rural customers in regions like Southeast Asia, Central America, and parts of Oceania, markets that United States brands have been slow to prioritize. But what truly sets the JAC T9 Hunter EV apart is not just the hardware, it is the strategy. JAC is using a modular skateboard-style architecture similar to Rivian's, which allows for faster development and deployment of new electric vehicle models. This platform flexibility means that JAC can quickly adapt the truck for various international markets, offering versions with different drivetrain layouts, battery sizes, and even body configurations. And because the company already has an established export network, it is not constrained to the Chinese domestic market. Early signs suggest that the Hunter EV will debut in Mexico, Australia, and parts of the Middle East before many United States brands even finish homologation testing for those markets. And if that is not enough to give Ford and General Motors nightmares, wait until you see what is coming from the world's largest electric vehicle battery supplier. And just before we dive into it, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what could be the biggest shift in the global trucking industry: CATL's battery swapping trucks. While automakers in the United States are still wrestling with cable-based electric vehicle charging systems, China has already leapfrogged that entire conversation. Enter CATL, the largest battery manufacturer on the planet. Rather than waiting for megawatt cable charging networks to be deployed nationwide, a process that could take decades, CATL is moving forward with a game-changing alternative: battery swapping for medium and heavy-duty electric trucks. Battery swapping technology is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of plugging in a vehicle and waiting for the battery to charge, the entire depleted battery pack is removed and replaced with a fully charged one. This process takes between 5 and 10 minutes and requires minimal human intervention. CATL's latest solution, unveiled through its Chiji Energy division in June of 2023, uses a semi-automated system that removes batteries from the side or bottom of the truck chassis. This method avoids adding any length to the truck itself, which is a crucial detail in Europe, where strict length limits govern commercial vehicles. The implications of this technology are enormous. First, it provides significant flexibility for fleet managers. Instead of worrying about routing vehicles through limited megawatt charging stations and coordinating driver rest periods with long charge times, trucks can stop briefly at swap stations, replace their batteries, and get back on the road in minutes. This dramatically increases vehicle uptime, and reduces the number of vehicles needed in a commercial fleet, lowering both capital and operational costs. Second, battery swapping standardizes the energy component of trucking. CATL's swap stations use standardized battery sizes, specifically 282 kilowatt-hours and 350 kilowatt-hours, regardless of truck brand. This means that different manufacturers, such as Sany, FAW, and XCMG, can all use the same infrastructure, fostering interoperability in a way that Western markets have yet to achieve. And there is more. Swapping lowers stress on the electrical grid by allowing for optimized energy use. Instead of dozens of trucks charging simultaneously during peak hours, batteries can be recharged off-peak, enabling energy arbitrage. CATL and its partners can monetize this flexibility by engaging in grid stabilization services, further reducing the total cost of ownership for truck operators. One study showed that under realistic commercial usage assumptions, battery swapping led to a total cost of ownership that was 2.5% to 10% lower than cable-based megawatt charging solutions. It is no surprise then that China's battery swapping infrastructure is expanding at breakneck speed. In 2020, there were 555 swap stations for heavy-duty trucks. By the end of 2023, that number had reached 3,567. Projections suggest that China could have more than 37,000 stations by the year 2025. That is a tenfold increase in just 2 years. And while Western truck manufacturers continue to debate the best path forward, China is already executing its plan. But China is not just leading in technology, it is dominating the global market with hard-hitting pickups too. Geely Radar RD6. There is a new disruptor in town, and it is not coming from Detroit, Michigan, or Silicon Valley. It is coming straight out of China, and it is called the Geely Radar RD6. This battery electric pickup truck is one of the first serious challengers to the American pickup market dominance, offering performance, features, and practicality that rival, and in some cases surpass, what Ford, General Motors, and Toyota are currently offering. But what really makes it disruptive is the price tag, just $25,000 United States dollars. That's right, a fully electric pickup truck that is not a stripped-down experiment, but a real, usable truck, and it is priced to undercut almost every comparable model in the American market. The Geely Radar RD6 is built on Geely Holdings' Advanced Sustainable Experience Architecture platform, which is the same modular base used by other high-end electric vehicles from the company. This platform allows the RD6 to be offered in multiple configurations, including versions with 63 kilowatt-hour, 86 kilowatt-hour, and 100 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery packs. With the largest battery option, the RD6 achieves an estimated range of up to 380 miles on a full charge, putting it within striking distance of, or even ahead of, American rivals like the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Rivian R1T. In terms of power, the RD6 produces 272 horsepower and 283 pound-feet of torque using a permanent magnet synchronous motor driving the rear wheels. While it is not an off-road monster, it has more than enough punch to handle daily driving, light towing, and weekend getaways with ease. What it lacks in brute force, it makes up for with clever, lifestyle-oriented features that American truck buyers have been asking for. The RD6 includes a front trunk with 70 liters of storage, multiple 110-volt and 220-volt power outlets, and even 6 built-in 2,000-watt plug sockets in the truck bed, allowing users to run tools, appliances, or outdoor gear directly from the vehicle's battery system. One of the more overlooked advantages of the RD6 is its mid-size design. While many American electric trucks are full-size monsters that struggle to fit in urban or suburban driveways, the RD6 is easier to maneuver, easier to park, and still offers plenty of bed space and cabin room for most users. But Geely is not just building a truck for China. The company is aggressively targeting overseas markets, including Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America, where the demand for affordable, reliable, and environmentally responsible pickup trucks is growing rapidly. Speaking of low prices, China is bringing the heat to South America and Mexico too, and the next one is already setting up camp. Foton Tonland EV. China's strategy to dominate the global electric vehicle market is not limited to passenger sedans or luxury crossovers. It is hitting hard where it hurts American and Japanese automakers the most, the pickup truck segment. One of the most significant contenders in this wave of disruption is the Foton Tonland EV, an all-electric pickup truck designed with rugged utility, a long driving range, and a price tag that is putting immense pressure on competitors like Toyota's Hilux, Ford's Ranger, and even the Chevrolet Colorado. What sets the Tonland EV apart is not just what it offers on paper, it is where it is going and who it is aiming to dethrone. The Foton Tonland EV is built on the same underpinnings as its internal combustion sibling, the Tonland U2 double cab pickup. This gives it an immediate advantage in terms of production scale, parts availability, and global adaptability. Foton's engineers gave it a 68 kilowatt-hour ternary lithium-ion battery pack, powering a permanent magnet single motor system that delivers 174 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels. That might not sound revolutionary at first glance, but its driving range is. The Tonland EV can travel up to 330 miles on a full charge. That makes it one of the longest-range electric pickups coming out of China, and far ahead of what most Western mid-size electric pickups can currently achieve. From a utility standpoint, the Foton Tonland EV does not hold back. It boasts a payload capacity of approximately 2,400 pounds and a towing capacity of 6,600 pounds, making it not just a commuter vehicle, but a legitimate workhorse capable of handling real-world tasks. The Tonland EV also includes multiple driving modes, cruise control, electronic parking assistance, and reversing sensors, standard features that many budget-friendly trucks often exclude. But perhaps the most disruptive aspect of the Tonland EV is where it is being deployed. Foton is already making significant moves across Latin America. Unlike many American brands that treat the region as an afterthought, Foton is building electric vehicle-focused manufacturing and assembly centers in Central America and Mexico. This positions the brand perfectly to sidestep high import tariffs and meet domestic demand with quicker delivery times and lower costs. And once these trucks start gaining traction in markets like Mexico, Colombia, Chile, and eventually the southern United States, American brands may find themselves reacting too late. The timing of Foton's push could not be more precise, as Latin America's demand for commercial and light-duty electric vehicles continues to grow. Traditional players like Toyota and General Motors are still figuring out their regional strategies. Meanwhile, the Tonland EV is already on the road, priced competitively at around $52,000 United States dollars, which, despite being higher than some entry-level American models, offers better range and utility. And if you think that is aggressive, wait until you see the one that actually beat Ford to market in Australia. LDV ET60. While American auto giants like Ford Motor Company and Toyota Motor Corporation have long dominated the global pickup truck scene, neither was the first to deliver a fully electric pickup truck to the shores of Australia. That honor belongs to a lesser-known but rapidly rising Chinese brand, LDV, a subsidiary of SAC Motor Corporation Limited, also known as the Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation. The LDV ET60 represents more than just a new electric vehicle. It marks a turning point in the global truck market. It is the first all-electric utility truck, or UT, to officially go on sale in Oceania, a region long considered sacred ground for brands like Toyota with its Hilux and Ford with its Ranger. The LDV ET60 is derived from the internal combustion engine-powered T60 Max Pro, and it was adapted for electric propulsion without sacrificing its essential pickup character. Underneath the hood, or more accurately, underneath the flat, aggressive front end, sits an 88.5 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery. That powers a permanent magnet single-motor setup driving the rear wheels. The electric motor delivers 174 horsepower and 229 pound-feet of torque, giving the truck reasonable power for urban commutes and light-duty work. What stands out most, though, is its range. The LDV ET60 delivers up to 205 miles on a full charge, which, while not class-leading, is on par with the standard range Ford F-150 Lightning, and significantly ahead of many first-generation electric pickups from established Western brands. The top speed is capped at 75 miles per hour, which is more than adequate for Australian roadways, and for most use cases in suburban and rural areas. Charging performance is also respectable. Using direct current fast charging, the ET60 can go from 20% to 80% in just 45 minutes, making it practical for daily users and fleet operators. In terms of utility, the LDV ET60 offers a towing capacity of 2,205 pounds, and the same figure for its payload rating. While those numbers may fall short of what traditional diesel-powered trucks offer, they are more than sufficient for tradespeople, delivery drivers, and recreational users. However, the ET60 does miss a few modern features. It does not include a front trunk for extra storage, which has become a defining feature in many electric trucks. It also lacks advanced driver assistance systems that are standard in many American and Japanese models. But the real win for LDV is not just the truck, it is the timing. The ET60 officially launched in Australia in the fourth quarter of 2022. That is before Ford Motor Company introduced the F-150 Lightning to international markets, and long before Toyota has even confirmed a production-ready electric pickup. That is just one way China is rewriting the global pickup playbook. But they have also got backup from a heavy hitter with a Japanese connection, Dongfeng Rich. 6 electric pickup truck. When most people think of electric pickup trucks, they picture futuristic designs, high price tags, and badges from Tesla, Ford, or Rivian. But what if one of the most quietly effective electric trucks on the global market today came not from Detroit or Silicon Valley, but from China, and not with a flashy new design, but one that feels oddly familiar? That is the story of the Dongfeng Rich 6 electric pickup truck, a vehicle that looks like a Nissan, drives like a Nissan, and under the hood owes much of its engineering to Nissan's legacy. The only difference? It costs thousands less, and it is rapidly spreading across Asia and Latin America. The Dongfeng Rich 6 electric pickup truck is the product of a 2-decade-long partnership between Dongfeng Motor Corporation and Nissan Motor Company. The vehicle shares its architecture with Nissan's Navara and Frontier models, and its visual cues are unmistakable. The design language screams utility over novelty. This is not a concept car, it is a practical, reliable, work-ready electric pickup built for regions that still demand rugged dependability. Underneath the hood, Dongfeng offers 2 battery configurations, a 60 kWh and a 77 kWh lithium iron phosphate pack. Both are paired with a permanent magnet synchronous motor. Depending on the chosen configuration, the Rich 6 delivers either 163 or 177 horsepower and either 310 or 332 pound-feet of torque. That performance translates to a driving range of either 217 or 281 miles, with a top speed of approximately 62 miles per hour. In terms of utility, the Dongfeng Rich 6 electric pickup truck provides a payload capacity of 2,646 pounds. While the manufacturer has not officially published its towing capacity, early field reports indicate that it performs on par with light-duty internal combustion engine trucks, commonly used for agriculture, trade work, and regional deliveries. The Rich 6 is not a luxury lifestyle truck. It is a practical solution designed for markets that value reliability, simplicity, and total cost of ownership above all else. Perhaps the most strategic advantage the Rich 6 brings to the table is its global rollout plan. Dongfeng has already launched the electric truck in several South American markets, including Chile, Peru, and Colombia. It is also being deployed in emerging Asian markets such as Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. By taking advantage of existing Nissan service networks and infrastructure, the Rich 6 is entering regions that are hungry for affordable electric utility vehicles, but that remain underserved by expensive American or Japanese offerings. And then there is the price. The Dongfeng Rich 6 electric pickup truck starts at around $40,000 United States dollars, sometimes even less depending on incentives or regional manufacturing. And as the Rich 6 gains traction, China is also making huge strides in the commercial truck market that United States brands have long taken for granted. Sany heavy-duty battery swap trucks. In the realm of global logistics and long-haul freight, China is not just playing catch-up, it is rewriting the rulebook. Sany, officially known as the Sany Heavy Industry Company Limited, has emerged as China's largest heavy-duty truck manufacturer, and it is spearheading a technological revolution that could dismantle the current structure of diesel trucking worldwide. By focusing on electrified freight transport and pioneering 5-minute battery swaps in Class 8 trucks, Sany is poised to dominate the very heart of international trade and supply chain logistics. Sany's breakthrough centers on its deployment of heavy-duty battery electric semi-trucks, including full 18-wheelers, designed with battery swap capability built directly into the chassis. In the conventional Western model, electric trucks depend on large-scale megawatt cable chargers that take hours to replenish a battery. But in China, where efficiency is paramount and downtime is costly, Sany and its partners have flipped the script. Their battery swap solution reduces the effective charging process to just 5 to 10 minutes. Instead of waiting, drivers pull into a swap station, and the depleted battery pack is automatically removed and replaced with a fully charged unit, no different from a Formula One pit stop. These swap-capable trucks are already operational across China's densest logistics corridors. The battery swap infrastructure is being built rapidly, thanks to coordination with China's largest battery supplier, Contemporary Amperex Technology Company Limited, also known as CATL. CATL not only provides standardized battery packs, typically in 282 kilowatt-hour and 350 kilowatt-hour formats, but has also helped define the technical standards that multiple original equipment manufacturers can adopt. This opens the door for interoperability between different truck brands and guarantees consistency across the infrastructure. Sany's approach also includes semi-automatic rear or bottom-mounted battery swapping processes. This ensures compatibility with global truck design regulations, including length restrictions in the European Union. It also makes it feasible for these platforms to be adapted for Western cab-over-engine configurations. In short, Sany is not just building for China, it is building for the world. What makes this innovation even more disruptive is its total cost of ownership impact. Compared to megawatt cable charging, which requires costly charging, downtime, and grid stabilization, battery swapping significantly increases truck utilization. In one real-world study, trucks using battery swap systems completed the equivalent of nearly 3 additional hours of work per day, compared to those using megawatt charging. This can lead to an overall cost reduction of up to 10% over the life of the vehicle. For fleet operators, logistics companies, and large shippers, that margin is game-changing. And it does not stop there. Fleet managers gain operational flexibility, reduced capital expenditure due to leased battery models, and a smaller total fleet size due to higher daily usage rates. And do not think this is just theory. The next brand has already planted its flag in the United Kingdom with a fully electric work truck. Maxus T90 EV. The arrival of the Maxus T90 EV in the United Kingdom marks a turning point in European automotive history. Manufactured by SAC Motor Corporation Limited, one of China's largest state-owned vehicle manufacturers, the T90 EV is the first 100% battery electric pickup truck available to consumers and businesses in the British market. And more importantly, it arrived well ahead of anything produced by Ford Motor Company, General Motors, Toyota Motor Corporation, or even Tesla Incorporated. This is not a concept or a limited fleet experiment. This is a fully certified, street-legal, production-ready electric pickup that is already being delivered to customers in Europe's most influential automotive market. At the heart of the Maxus T90 EV is an 88.5 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery, engineered for durability and efficiency. Power is delivered via a single permanent magnet motor to the rear wheels, producing 177 horsepower and 229 pound-feet of torque. These performance figures may not win drag races, but they are more than sufficient for the T90 EV's intended purpose, delivering solid, no-nonsense utility for small business owners, commercial fleets, and government agencies looking to decarbonize their transport operations. The T90 EV has an estimated driving range of 220 miles per charge, based on the worldwide harmonized light vehicles test procedure. Its top speed is electronically limited to 75 miles per hour, emphasizing safety and efficiency over raw power. In terms of practicality, it delivers a payload capacity of 2,204 pounds, and although its towing figures remain limited compared to internal combustion engine rivals, it excels in providing consistent, predictable performance at lower operational costs. Beyond raw specifications, what makes the Maxus T90 EV disruptive is how quickly it achieved market readiness and regional deployment. SAC Motor did not wait for local regulations or subsidies to catch up. They acted first. As a result, the T90 EV has already been integrated into municipal utility fleets, airport operations, and private commercial use across the United Kingdom. While legacy manufacturers in the West were still unveiling concepts and promising future models, China's JAC Motor quietly entered and occupied the space. Stylistically, the T90 EV carries over the traditional design elements from its internal combustion sibling, retaining a bold stance, high ground clearance, and a double cab layout. It looks like a truck, feels like a truck, and works like a truck, but without the emissions, noise, or fuel bills. The T90 EV also features 12-volt and 220-volt power outlets, making it useful for job sites or mobile operations, and aligning it with the needs of tradespeople, delivery contractors, and agricultural users. And while Ford and General Motors are catching their breath, China is about to hit them with one of the most versatile designs yet: Changan CD701. This is not just another electric pickup truck. It is a shape-shifting marvel that fuses the lines between utility and luxury, engineering and imagination. With its ability to morph from a pickup truck into a sleek sport utility vehicle, the CD701 is rewriting the rulebook for what an electric truck can be. While American automakers such as Ford, General Motors, and Toyota continue to focus on full-size utility and battery performance, Changan is going in a direction they never expected, targeting the glamping crowd, premium adventurers, and luxury seekers who want it all in one vehicle. Unveiled in September of the year 2023 and slated for mass production in the year 2024, the CD701 was developed on Changan's smart driving architecture, a proprietary electric platform designed to push flexibility to new levels. The most talked about feature is its retractable roof design. At first glance, it appears to be a conventional 5-seat sport utility vehicle, but with the press of a button, a massive glass panel slides back and a flexible rear deck extends, transforming the vehicle into a short bed pickup, perfect for carrying camping gear, surfboards, or whatever weekend adventures require. While exact performance specifications have yet to be fully released, the dimensions already make it stand out. The CD701 measures approximately 196.9 inches long, 77.6 inches wide, and 64.2 inches tall, with a wheelbase of 122 inches. This makes it roughly equivalent in footprint to a Tesla Model X or a Ford Explorer, but with a far more unique layout and function. While most traditional trucks emphasize ruggedness and brute power, the CD701 leans into refinement and digital technology, signaling a fresh strategy from Changan to win, not by competing head-to-head with work trucks, but by redefining the segment altogether. The CD701 is also rumored to be the first production vehicle equipped with vehicle satellite communication, a feature that allows for short, text-based communication, even in areas without traditional mobile reception. This is a bold move that positions the vehicle as a perfect partner for off-the-grid adventures, whether deep in the mountains or far out in the desert. In a world where connectivity is king, this makes the CD701 especially attractive to digital nomads, remote workers, and weekend warriors who need reliability in the most remote conditions. Although initial production is focused exclusively on the Chinese domestic market, Changan's export ambitions are no secret. With growing interest in unique electric vehicles across Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and eventually Europe, the CD701 could become a global symbol of Chinese electric innovation. And it is only a matter of time before American buyers, particularly those in states like California, Colorado, and Oregon, begin demanding a version of this adaptable, high-tech truck sport utility vehicle hybrid. But for pure work truck domination, the final one might be the most dangerous to the entire United States truck business: Chingling Isuzu Taga EV. When it comes to work trucks, fleet managers want three things above all else: dependability, affordability, and practicality. And that is exactly what the Chingling Isuzu Taga EV delivers, making it one of the most overlooked threats to American fleet mainstays like the Chevrolet Silverado and the Toyota Tacoma. Born from a long-standing partnership between Chingling Motors and Japanese powerhouse Isuzu, the Taga EV is leveraging legacy reliability with electric innovation, and it is doing so at a price point that is very hard to beat. The Chingling Isuzu Taga EV is a commercial-grade pickup truck that shares much of its engineering DNA with the globally respected Isuzu D-Max. This means that even though it is built in China, it benefits from decades of Japanese durability standards. Under the hood, or more accurately beneath the chassis, is a 64.64 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack that powers a single electric motor driving the rear wheels. It delivers 201 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, which puts it squarely in the realm of mid-size work trucks. But the real headline here is range. The Taga EV can travel up to 380 miles on a single charge under ideal conditions. That is a longer range than many American electric trucks that cost twice as much. For fleet buyers, that kind of performance changes the equation entirely. Fewer charging stops mean fewer delays, higher uptime, and more profit. And because the Taga EV is engineered for urban and inner-city use, that extended range makes it a perfect fit for logistics, delivery services, public utilities, and municipal operations. Payload capacity is equally impressive. The Taga EV can handle up to 3,307 pounds in the bed, making it one of the most capable electric trucks in its class. This kind of capacity is not just theoretical. It translates into real work being done, day in and day out. Whether it is transporting tools, equipment, or goods, the Taga EV is designed to deliver results. Despite its utility-first nature, the Taga EV does not ignore comfort or tech. It offers a clean, minimalistic cabin layout with digital displays, climate control, and integrated connectivity features. While it is not packed with luxury, it provides all the essential functionality needed for daily operation. And the simplicity also means easier maintenance and fewer breakdowns. At a starting price of just 40,000 United States dollars, the Chingling Isuzu Taga EV is quietly taking over fleet contracts in China and starting to appear in export markets across Asia and South America. It is only a matter of time before it enters North American conversations, particularly in cities looking to electrify their municipal truck fleets or replace aging internal combustion engine service vehicles with affordable electric alternatives. And with Chinese electric trucks already undercutting prices, outpacing innovation, and expanding globally, Ford, General Motors, and Toyota are not just nervous, they are freaking out. Drop a comment if you think America can catch up, and hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.